This is lesson 2 on combining sentences. Previously, we've already discussed how to use commas in the fanboys conjunctions and, but, or, so to combine, so if you haven't done that first, you might want to go do that. If you're ready though, we're now on to lesson 2, which is a little bit more fun. So we're going to talk about subordinating conjunctions, which is just a fancy word for different types. These are coordinating and subordinating we'll get to. And then how to combine sentences to eliminate repetition, but also not make it a run-on sentence. So here's 2 examples of perfectly fine sentences. I don't like pumpkin pie. I still like Thanksgiving dinner. If we're going to use subordinating conjunctions, then we're basically going to try to join 2 thoughts together to make one sentence, but that means we still need another complete thought. So for instance, you could use words like since or before or even though, but you'd still need to keep both parts of the sentence. So words like since basically just show cause and effect. You could also maybe say because or due to if you want that relationship. If the word is before, then you could just use a time word like after or during or meanwhile. Any of those are perfectly fine subordinating conjunctions. Or they're giving you the phrase even though. You could maybe say however or although or nevertheless. These are just showing your opposites. So if you think about what would work best here, I don't like pumpkin pie, I still like Thanksgiving dinner. What is the relationship between these two? Is this a cause and effect? Is this a time? Or is this an opposite? And I think we could probably agree they're opposites, so maybe you say, even though I don't like pumpkin pie, comma, I still like Thanksgiving dinner. Or you say, I don't like pumpkin pie, even though I still like Thanksgiving dinner. So it could go between this one or at the beginning. It just kind of depends where you want it to make the most sense. Really, subordinating conjunctions, the purpose is to show organization, to show kind of what you're thinking, and to make things a little less choppy. There were no incomplete sentences on the other page, but we want to make them a little less choppy, a little more flow, and it's really important to choose the correct conjunction or it can be very confusing. So let's take a look at this paragraph. On Thanksgiving Day, the house is filled with the sweet smell of pumpkin and pecan pie baking in the oven. My whole family goes down to the basement to eat and talk. All of the food tastes and smells great. We finish eating. We all watch the end of the football game. So there's no problems, per se, but there's a couple little choppy sentences, and one example is we finish eating. We all watch the end of the football game. And you need to think about how these are related. If you wanted to combine these together, which subordinating conjunction would work the best between these 2 thoughts? Would it make sense to say, for number 1, because, right here, meanwhile, afterward, or even though? Is the relationship cause and effect? Is it opposite? Is it time? Is it opposite? So let's look at this in a different way. If we look at the same example within the paragraph, but we change the placement of our conjunction, which subordinating conjunction would fit the best at the beginning? We finish eating, we all watch the end of the game. Should we say because we finish eating, as soon as we finish eating, meanwhile we finish eating, or however we finish eating? And in context, this is where it is, so select the answer that makes the most sense at the beginning of these 2 sentences. Let's try another one with a new example paragraph. I usually spend Thanksgiving with my entire family, including my aunts, uncles, and cousins. We always bake pies and watch football. I don't like football. I always watch it on Thanksgiving. After we watch football, we have a huge feast. So in reading that, you should have kind of noticed a couple ideas that don't quite go together, so we need to use some subordinating conjunctions. For instance, we always bake pies and watch football. I don't like football. How do these fit together? And think about which subordinating conjunction would best fit between them. So for number 3, what would fit right here? Because, as soon as, even though, or afterward. So hopefully you selected the right one. And we're going to look at the same paragraph and a little different sentence formation. So I don't like football. I always watch it on Thanksgiving. This doesn't really make sense unless you tie them together with some sort of subordinate conjunction, because if you don't like something, you shouldn't do it. So which subordinate conjunction would best fit at the beginning of these if we wanted to tie these together? Would it be A, because, B, as soon as, C, even though, or D, afterward? So I'm hoping you select the right answer, and I'm hoping you also notice that sometimes the same conjunction can be placed in different spots, and it just varies your sentence structure. So it'd be like, even though I don't like football, comma, I always watch it. And that could just switch up your sentence structure so it's not always starting with the same thing. So let's look at this one more time. Scratch that, my bad. Okay, moving on. For part 2, we're going to talk about how to combine sentences together, put all this information in like one sentence, but not have a giant run-on sentence. We don't want to repeat ourselves, and we don't want run-ons. Run-ons mean more than one thought without a conjunction or a semicolon. So here's kind of your essential information. Orange trees need a warm climate to grow. Orange trees need a humid climate to grow. They thrive in Florida. The weather is ideal for growing citrus. We could pretty much say that in like way fewer words. The things we need to mention are that we're talking about orange trees and what they need, and they need some sort of weather and climate. Seems to be in Florida, and there they can thrive and grow. So here's a couple ways you could do this. Both of these options are perfectly fine. You could say orange trees need a warm, humid climate to grow, semicolon. They thrive in Florida where the weather is ideal for growing citrus. And this joins your thoughts together with a semicolon. That works. Option 2, you could use some conjunctions. Orange trees need a warm, humid climate to grow, comma, which is why they thrive in Florida where the weather is ideal for growing citrus. None of this has repetition. Nothing's a run-on. These are both good options. So let's look at this example, and you're going to have to pick the best option. The concert was over. It was a rock concert. It was in the park. No one wanted to go home. They were having too much fun. So your essential information, or there's something about a rock concert. Now it's over. It was in a park. No one wanted to go home. Having fun. So which is the best combination of both that eliminates repetition but does not make it a run-on? So same ideas, better said. Option A, the rock concert was over in the park, comma, no one wanted to go home because they were having too much fun. B, after the rock concert in the park was over, comma, no one wanted to go home because they were having too much fun. C, even though the concert in the park was over, comma, no one left. D, while the concert was over, comma, no one wanted to go home from the park because too much fun was being had. What's your best option? Here's another one. Let's try this one. Vincent van Gogh was not famous during his life. He is known today. He is known for painting. He painted skillfully. He painted scenes. The scenes are colorful. That should just feel choppy. So let's fix it. The basic information we need is that we're talking about Van Gogh. He was not famous during his life. He's known today. He painted skillfully. I put these together. And he painted colorful scenes. So how can we combine that information, not leave out important stuff, and not make it a run-on? A, after Vincent van Gogh died, comma, he became famous. B, because Vincent van Gogh was not famous during his lifetime, comma, he skillfully painted scenes that were colorful, and today he is known for them. C, even though Vincent van Gogh was not famous during his lifetime, he is known today for skillfully painting colorful scenes. Which one? Now, we're going to kind of practice until you get it. I need you to follow these directions. You're going to log into noreadink.com. You've already joined the class, so we should be good to go. You're going to find the assignment that says Combining Sentences Lesson 2, commas, conjunctions combining. And this is going to take about 5 steps to get it, so if you get stuck on one, ask for help, but you're going to move through in complexity kind of how to combine sentences and be super detailed so that nothing takes forever. Please don't quit. You can do this, and there will be a summative assessment later.